Once upon a time in a place in Africa, there existed a great and prosperous kingdom called Ekundayo. Ekundayo was known for its rich culture, mighty warriors, and its wise and just ruler, King Odion, the warlord king. King Odion was a powerful leader, feared by his enemies and respected by his people. He had a daughter named Adanna'sleadership, the princess of Ekundayo, who was as beautiful as she was fierce. Adanna'sleadership was a 25-year-old beautiful young princess, tall, dark-skinned. Her hair was plaited and was packed backwards. She was adored by her people, not only for her beauty but also for her wisdom and bravery. She always walked around the village with her red and black warrior attire. She carried herself with the grace and elegance befitting an African warrior princess. Princess Adanna'sleadership was unlike any other princess in the land. Her father assigned the strongest warrior to train her in martial arts and skill for her own protection from her young age. She could wield a spear and ride a horse with unmatched skill, and her courage was legendary among the people of Ekundayo. One sunny morning, Adanna'sleadership was training with her warrior mentor, Kofi. As she skillfully threw her spear, she exclaimed, "I want to be just as strong as you, Kofi. One day, I lead our warriors into battle." Kofi chuckled, "You already fight better than many men, princess. Just remember, your father wants to keep you safe." Adanna'sleadership frowned. "But I want to protect our kingdom, just like him." Sometimes, the warriors in the village throw some fight challenge to know who is the strongest and what ranks to be given to each warrior based on his performance. Adanna'sleadership always appears there to wrestle and fight with men warriors. She often does that to test and grow her fighting skills. Most at times, she ends up beating or defeating her opponent. Each time she does, the male warriors will lift her up on their shoulders and sing praises to her. Her father, King Odion, always feels happy on hearing such news, or whenever he watches from a distance, but pretends and felt concerned. He approached Adanna'sleadership. "Adanna'sleadership, you are a fierce fighter, but I worry for your safety. Please, stop participating on male warriors' feast, and let the warriors handle the battles." "But father," she pleaded, "I can help. I want to fight for our people." "Your training is for protection, not for war," he replied gently. "Promise me you will stay safe." One fateful day, a neighboring kingdom, called Ekpema, ruled by the ruthless warlord King Uzoma, decided to invade Ekundayo and claim its riches for himself. King Odion knew that his kingdom was in great danger, so he gathered his warriors and announced, "We must prepare for battle. Our kingdom is in danger." Adanna'sleadership's heart raced. "Let me fight with you, father." "No. It's too dangerous," he shouted, his eyes fierce. "I cannot lose you." Princess Adanna'sleadership, despite her father's protest, insisted on fighting alongside her people. She wore her armor and pleaded his father to let her join the warriors. His father, King Odion, didn't want to lose his only daughter, although he knew she can fight more than some male warriors. He assigned 2 palace guards to watch over her at the palace, so she cannot be able to join at the battlefield. With a heavy heart, Adanna watched as her father and the warriors rode off to battle. She walked around the palace, frustration boiling inside her. "I can't just sit here," she said to her guards. "I have to help." The battle that started was fierce and bloody. Swords clashed, arrows flew, and the ground shook with the thunder of war. Ekpema Kingdom, who are the masterminder of the war, has thought and planned for the attack for years, so they were well prepared and trained for the war beforehand. So it was not surprised that the battle is favoring them. King Odion fought valiantly with his warriors, but in the heat of the battle, he was struck down by a fatal strike from warlord King Uzoma's sword and he gave up. Ekundayo warriors were weakened by their king's demise. With fear they decided to try their best to hold on, but the heat was too much and their warlord was shouting, "Retreat, retreat." The news of the king's demise reached to Adanna at the palace. Adanna cried out with tears on her face, shouting, "No! No! No!" And with heartbroken spirit, she mounted her horse and rode out to meet the enemy on the battlefield. On getting to the battlefield, Ekundayo warriors were already retreating. They were running back to their kingdom, while they were being pursued by Ekpema warriors. Princess Adanna started shouting war shout out, flinging her sword, rode through Ekundayo warriors, pointing her sword towards Ekpema warriors, shouting, "Stand and fight for our kingdom." Ekundayo warriors, on sighting Princess Adanna's war charge, were rekindled and all turned back to face Ekpema warriors with shouts of war. It was like refilled of energy and boldness were bestowed on them. Princess Adanna fought bravely at the forefront of the battle, leading her warriors with skill and determination. She was filled with grief and rage. Princess Adanna unleashed her fury upon the enemy. With a mighty war cry, "For Ekundayo, for my father," she shouted, her voice cutting through the noise of war. Adanna spotted King Uzoma in the chaos. "You will not take my home," she yelled, charging toward him. Their eyes locked. "You think you can defeat me, little girl?" Uzoma taunted, drawing his sword. "I'm not just a girl, I'm the princess of Ekundayo." She shouted back, her spear glinting in the sunlight. They clashed fiercely, swords ringing out like thunder. Finally, with all her strength, Adanna swung her spear and struck warlord King Uzoma down. Princess Adanna emerged victorious, slaying the tyrant king, who had dared to threaten her kingdom. The Ekpema warriors gasped, then fled in terror. The battlefield fell silent. The Ekundayo warriors cheered, lifting Adanna onto their shoulders. "Hail, Princess Adanna, you saved us." With tears in her eyes, she looked up to the sky and shouted, "Father, we won." Back to the kingdom, the people of Ekundayo rejoiced at their victory. but their joy was tempered by the loss of their beloved king. In the days that followed, Princess Adanna was crowned the new ruler of Ekundayo, the first queen in the kingdom's history. She ruled with wisdom and compassion, honoring her father's legacy and leading her people to a new era of peace and prosperity. Under Queen Adanna's's reign, Ekundayo flourished like never before. The land was filled with laughter and music, and the people lived in harmony with one another. The memory of the fierce princess who had led them to victory was forever remembered in the hearts of the people, a symbol of courage, strength, and the enduring spirit of Ekundayo. And so, the legend of Princess Adanna, the warrior queen of Ekundayo, lived on for generations to come. A shining example of the power of love, courage, and unity in the face of unpleasant situations.